Great to have you back on not the same podcast, a different podcast. How are you today?
I'm very good. And how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. No complaints. Excited for this conversation here today. A little different focus from our first conversation. It's really going to be oral health focused today, which I'm excited about. Um, Kind of quick question I usually tee up at the beginning of every podcast is, let's just say someone's not familiar with with uh, Oral Biolife today. What do you tell them? What is a description of the company?
Oral Biolife right now is focused on new innovations in dentistry. We're going to spearhead into other areas eventually, but right now we're focusing on periodontal disease in human health and animal health. And our technology is very novel because we're addressing the bone regeneration, something that I don't think there has been a lot of focus around.
Yeah, and I mean it was really built out of a passion, right, for addressing real world patient needs. So what I would like to hear though, what was the aha moment that sparked this journey from research to building, really a transformative product like Ambrilux Dental Gel?
I think I'm going to start. There's two sides to each
Okay.
story, right? So the inventors of this breakthrough focused on periodontal disease and bone regeneration because there is significant lag in innovation in dentistry. And I don't mean to offend anyone, but I think I'm learning in this space. There's been a huge uptake into connecting the dots in importance of dentistry to other chronic diseases. So even for me, I spent over 25 years in pharma biotech. This is the first time I'm getting into dental space, and I'm connecting the dots back when I used to launch cardiovascular drugs or osteoporosis drugs of the gateway that starts from dentistry, periodontal disease into Alzheimer's, cardiovascular disease, osteoporosis, stroke. So that was the premise for the need for innovation in this space. And I think a lot of times people talked about microbiome or antibacterial solution, but ours is very different because we really focus on bone regeneration. For me personally, the journey did not start with understanding how to connect the dots. I literally had a massive dental procedure and learned that I am one of the people that apparently less than 1% that had an issue with putting in a new tooth. So there was an issue with my gums. There was an issue with healing. There was an issue with everything under the sun. So basically, I was fairly young, and I realized that I'm going to walk around with a irreplenishable hole because there's nothing that dentistry could do. So that's when I started seeking. I said, there's got to be a better solution. So that's how I met the innovation that now we know Ambrilux Dental Gel, and hope to be able to bring solution to many people with periodontal disease or that just have issues with um, gum disease or root planning or anything that has to do with healing post dental surgery.
Why do you think oral health, despite its systemic implications, is so overlooked in modern medicine?
To be honest with you, I think that there is a lack of connection. There's just, if we focus on human health, let's say cardiovascular disease, we will look at the heart, the vasculature around the heart. We would probably look at every single drug and vitamin. We would run a variety of tests from EKG to echo. We're going to look at the history. We might even look at the genetics, but it is unlikely that we're going to call a dentist. So it's just right now is a perfect time for us to expand the scope of how we treat people overall. So we talk about a holistic health approach, and we're redefining what is the holistic. It is, before we sort of added diet and exercise into it, and now we need to add the full picture of genetic mapping and, yes, dentistry. So, it was astounding for me to learn that 50% of adults globally affected by periodontal disease, and the linkages we have to all of the systemic health problems. And frankly, I didn't know.
Can you explain, talk about some of the, there's links between chronic diseases firsthand. Could you expand on maybe some of the hidden connections between periodontal disease and conditions like, say, Alzheimer's, cardiovascular issues, osteoporosis? I know you hit on some, you talked a little bit about it, but would love to kind of dig deeper if possible.
I'm going to stay at the higher level just for the sake of the audience, but it's really all about the inflammation. So, periodontal disease triggers inflammation. And if untreated beyond inflammation, there are other issues like bacteria overgrowth. And obviously, our human body is all connected. And to the point where a friend of mine actually at the conference was talking about a relative of hers, an elderly woman, having a stroke that was later linked to periodontal disease. And it's just because she is in this space, she was aware to connect the dots and able to address the problem. But I think that we're just not looking at dentistry, even though we all understand it's all connected. We're not looking at the source of the cause.
It's, I guess when you look at biotech, for instance, treatments often aim to address root causes, not just symptoms. You know, how how does what you're doing kind of tie in with that?
Oh, very good questions. A lot of times we treat the side effects of the condition, or we address some of the peripheral issues, but we don't actually treat the problem, right? So if we have, an antibacterial that is a mild antibacterial that maybe will help in the beginning, but won't really actually solve the overall issue. Um, that's how we end up with an ongoing problem that just gets worse. When we looked at Ambrilux, we looked at a different perspective. We said, okay, what's the mechanism of action? How is it going to actually address the fundamental source of the problem? And it's very easy to explain. So, what is the piezo material, right? If anytime you use the grill and you sort of use that switch to light it up, that's piezoelectric effect that lights up your grill. Our gel, which is a topical gel, so you apply it on the tooth, and it stimulates that electrical charge. Believe me, you don't feel it at all, but that piezoelectric effect, it's a key part of the novelty. It's what's stimulating the cell activity into the bone regeneration. So see, we're not just solving and or masking the immediate issue. We're actually stimulating the cell activity in the bone, which creates a bone regeneration. It's really, really important to understand that we can talk about, ability to disrupt biofilms, but it's really our product is for bone regeneration. And we don't mask any of the issues. We have actual data. We just completed our large animal study on dogs, and we are able to show amazing results of how we're able to regenerate the bone, and we see it from the X-rays, and it's really exciting because that would really address the problem moving forward.
What I would like to shift our focus towards, if it's okay with you, is kind of like your leadership style, like how you've led teams in the past. So you've led R&D teams through various healthcare challenges over your career. What insights from those past experiences have really helped shape the approach that you're taking to treat periodontal disease, uh, with Ambrilux?
Oh, leadership style. I have a I have a personal rule. I've been in the industry for a very long time, and I always believe that my job is to assure that this asset, if I believe in this technology and I believe in this technology, is in the best hands. And to be honest with you, sometimes maybe it's not mine. I know many people would like to say that, I can do everything, and I think we all can, but are we the best people to do everything? So my leadership style is really around having enough comfort to hire the right people to lead the asset forward. So a lot of times as founders, I joke that our assets are our children, and we homeschool the children, and then we tend to not let go and send it off to college. We want to stay, keep it at home, and put it under an online program. But I believe that there should be an independent leadership team for any founder. At some point, the founder needs to give up. So for Oral Biolife, we have a brilliant team of a CEO and a CSO and chief medical officer. We have key opinion leaders that are all dentists and actually experts in animal health, because we have an animal health aspect to our portfolio. Our chief medical officer, or we call him chief dental officer, is a periodontist. So we have experts that understand this field. I stay very actively involved with the company from the board perspective, and I'm an advocate, obviously, for the technology. But when it comes to leadership, I allow my people to do what they need to do to get this company to the next level. Now, as a chief executive officer for somebody else's company, right? This is where I work in tangent with some of the other founders. I'll step in as the CEO of somebody else's company, and I'll be that independent leader, and then I'll build a team around getting their asset to the next stage. That's what I do at Licarda.
Yes. And that's what we had you on last time to talk about Licarda, which was on the Bio Breakthroughs podcast, which was great. No, thank you for sharing that. Now, one of the things I want to do that's kind of cool, kind of new, is let's talk in terms of like pitching investors, right? So, if you're pitching investors, what's the most compelling reason to support Oral Biolife's mission to transform dental at this stage of the game?
Oral Biolife is the only company at this point that's developing a pioneering technology called Ambrilux Dental Gel that is addressing bone regeneration. We explained the piezoelectric effect as a key part of our IP, which can stimulate cell activity and therefore can generate high quality bone. We have extensive data. We have multiple rodent models. We have an animal data, and we're soon to be launching this product in animal health. We have superb leadership team and key opinion leaders that are all practicing dentists and periodontists that stand behind this company. So I have all the confidence that this asset and this company will really transform dental care.
If you were to raise, what would be kind of some of the first things you'd want to focus in on?
Well, interestingly, is beyond periodontal disease, which the first raise is going to go towards a large clinical trial going into the human. But we don't need a lot of data. We're looking at accelerated path to approval. Hopefully, we'll get the 510K route, but that remains to be discussed with FDA. But we also are able to address the periimplantitis, different issues with dentures, and then moving into the orthopedic applications. We actually had several orthopedic surgeons that come up to us and asking us if we would be considering coding some of the devices that go into shoulders or knees in order to help to regenerate and heal the bone and tissue around those procedures. So we're very interested going into the orthopedic application as well. Depending how quickly we can raise, we would potentially be going into one or two, three areas to accelerate our entry into market.
I'm so excited for you, and I love how you're You're just go, 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 and I love that. Like, it is awesome, and, you know, whether you're tired or not, I can never tell because you have this energy to you, so I'm sure you are, like, you can't not be tired with everything that you're doing, but I love when people still have that energy. It just shows how passionate you are about what you're doing, and, I just wanna thank you so much for continue being you and having that attitude because it's very welcoming.
Oh, thank you. That's so kind. I want to finish my week with this comment. Honestly, it's a pleasure to be talking to you again, and it's wonderful to be educating people through what you do, because we need to be aware about our health, and we need to be aware about connections that our the dentistry has to our overall health. It's not just about brushing teeth. It goes much deeper, and I think our connection between an MD and DDS and all the other practitioners and nurses and homeopathic doctors, I think all of that should be weaved into one holistic approach to our health. And then I think my mission will be complete.
I love it. Um, if an investor wants to get in touch with you, right? They hear this and they're like, I want to talk. What's the best way to circle up? Is it to email you? Is it to add you on LinkedIn? How do you like to be
Please
reached?
email me, LinkedIn me. Clearly, I don't sleep that much, so I'm very accessible.
Not clearly. No one can tell. Okay. Uh, Clearly makes it seem like I see you and I'm like, she doesn't sleep. I would never say that. First off, and but that's not the case.
I'm well
Yeah, it's
caffeinated.
yes. Well, that is a big coffee cup right there. That looks like, yeah. It's you're right. We're both caffeinated. We have our coffee. It is always a pleasure speaking with you. I can't wait for our future conversations and wishing you the best of luck on everything you're working on.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.